You're an officer of Dallas Police Department?
Correct.
You said that you were on your way to a report of a stolen vehicle. Do I have that right?
That is correct.
Is that an emergent situation?
It is not an emergency situation. It's a situation where we're going to get there. We want to get the suspect. We want to actually get someone's property back.
The road that this wreck happened on, remind me what it was?
Second Avenue?
Second Avenue. And Second Avenue is a 30-mile-per-hour zone, correct?
That is correct.
You're saying this was not an emergent situation, so why were you traveling 60 to 65 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone?
You're absolutely right. I was trying to get there as fast as I could.
You were trying to go there to a non-emergency situation as fast as you could, and you were driving as fast as you could in that zone while operating a cell phone. Right?
Absolutely, and I get where you're going with this, and you're absolutely right. That is part of my job, what I do, and accidents do occur. Like I said, I'm not saying that I didn't do anything wrong. However, it was an accident.
Not saying you didn't do anything wrong, so you're saying you did something wrong. Are you saying you did something wrong?
I didn't do anything, not that I think I did.
Okay.
I'm on the phone communicating with my team. It's part of the job. It's the same thing as being on the radio, communicating with dispatch. I'm trying to get there. You know, it happens every time. There's a flock here. We want to get there as fast as we can, as safely as we can. And in this instance, there was an accident.
Do you think you did anything wrong that night?
Going over the speed limit, I take full responsibility.
But you said that this is part of your job, what you were doing that night, that moment.
Part of my job is communicating with my team. So whether it be on the radio, whether it be through Zelle, we have phones with an application that we communicate with each other.
When you say that you did something wrong, going over the speed limit,
Correct.
you don't think that you were acting reasonably when you were going over the speed limit, do you?
Objection. You can go ahead and answer.
I was going at the same speed rate that the cars around me were going. So it would be reasonable to be going at that speed.
Your testimony is that the other cars on that street at that time were all going over 2 times the speed limit.
That is correct.
And you're telling me that if everybody else is doing it, that's okay for you to do it.
So that's what we as officers tell other people, that as long as everybody's going at the same speed, which should be a reasonable speed, we're not talking about 85, 90, 100 miles an hour, you should try to keep up.
You're telling me if you saw a civilian driving a civilian vehicle at a speed in excess of 2 times the posted speed limit, that you would sit there and say, that's reasonable, that's okay, I'm going to let that go.
Once again, what is reasonable for me was that I was trying to catch up. I was trying to get a suspect with a stolen vehicle.
So it was an emergency situation.
It was not an emergency situation.
And it's not an emergency situation, certainly, because you didn't have your sirens going at the time of the impact, did you?
That is correct.
You didn't have your light bar activated, did you?
That is correct.
So it wasn't an emergency situation. You're driving 2 times the posted speed limit, and you're telling me that you think this was all reasonable.
Objection. You can answer.
I do.
So you don't think that you should be held responsible, or that the city should be held responsible at all for what happened to Sandy Ghanem?
So if you ask me personally, once again, if the person in front of me is going at the same speed that I am, and it just comes to a complete stop without putting a signal to turn left, Yes, I consider myself as reasonable. And if the person in front of me comes to complete stop, once again, it's an accident that does occur, and it occurs on a daily basis.
You went through some training to be a police officer.
Yes, sir.
If you don't have your sirens going,
Mm-hmm.
are you allowed to drive 2 times the speed limit?
No, sir.
Okay, so you did that wrong.
Yes, sir.
Similar question.
Mhm.
If you don't have your light bars activated, are you allowed to drive 2 times the legal speed limit?
No, sir.
So you did that wrong, right?
That is correct, sir.
And did you, when you were trained to be a police officer, did they train you to use your cell phone while operating a vehicle?
No, not when you're going in a non-emergency call to a non-emergency call. No, you're not supposed to be on your phone.
Is there any situation where you are allowed to drive? While operating a
Not
phone?
at 2 times the speed limit, sir.
All right, Jonathan. I'm showing on that screen what I've marked as plaintiff's deposition exhibit number 8. Now, this is a clip from much bigger footage that was produced in the litigation. Rather than go through 30 minutes of dash cam and body cam footage, I've clipped it out.
Mhm.
And I'll represent to you that what we're seeing here is the first time I'm seeing your cell phone, if not the only time I see your cell phone on that body cam footage. This is your body cam.
Mhm.
Earlier you said, or earlier you testified
Mhm.
that the last thing you were doing on your phone was using this Zello app to communicate with the rest of your Dallas PD team. Is that
Mhm.
right?
Correct.
All right, so we're going to watch exhibit number 8.
I was gonna go, but then right on, putting the head over there and channel 7 called.
Yep. That's your phone, is it not?
That is correct. Mm-hmm.
So I've paused the video.
Mm-hmm.
I've paused exhibit number 8 at timestamp 15. Well, it's not the timestamp on the Axon footage, but it is the timestamp of this particular clip of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to rewind it back to timestamp 13. So the 13 seconds into exhibit number 8. And you are opening your phone. Accurate?
That is correct.
All 4 waiting.
I've now scrubbed forward a half second. So we're still at timestamp number 13.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing we see when you open that phone is what appears to be a text message or text message conversation. Do I have that accurate?
That is correct.
So the last thing that you were doing on your phone was this text message.
And no,
Objection. You can answer.
why it's on right there, I have no idea. You know, you have a phone. Do you have an iPhone? Do you have an iPhone? There's all of these different apps and all these different things that you use, and they open up. And there's times when you open, not when you unlock it, when you grab your phone by accident, you touch it with your fat finger, and they all open up, and they can either move from right to left, and they can change depending on what it is.
I know how an iPhone works,
Mhm.
and presumably it's a popular phone. A jury is going to know how an iPhone works.
Mm.
And
Yes.
you're disagreeing with me that when you open your iPhone, it opens to you're saying it does not open up to the last
So-
app you use.
Do you have footage before this? Because I had already grabbed my phone before that.
So this text message chain here
Mhm.
that we're seeing, your contention is that you prior to seeing it in this clip, you had already moved from your Zelle app and you were texting after the wreck. That's why this is showing up first, is because you texted after the wreck happened.
No, I'm not saying I texted after. What I did say was I was on my Zello, dropped my Zello, I picked it up. Once again, throughout this whole movement, what I could have done, and again, I know I'm under oath, I could have moved it from left to right, and it ended up on that screen right there.
Did you send any text messages after the wreck?
I could have. I had a lot of people calling me. I had a lot of my friends calling me regarding the accident.
Who's this text message?
I have no idea. You would have to zoom in so I can see it, so I can see the name.
Okay. I see there in the, I'll wave my cursor over it. It looks like, what do we call those?
It's an emoji. It's a
Avatar is what
It's an
it is.
avatar. Yes.
Whose avatar is that?
No, I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I would have to go and look into my text messages.
And this is a picture of what exactly?
No idea.
No idea. You don't remember this conversation whatsoever.
Sir, this, as you can see, it was back in 2023.
You don't know anybody who uses those avatars that look like that?
A lot of women use an avatar. They can, yes.
And you text a lot of women that use avatars?
A lot of,
Jen,
I know where you're trying to go with this. And again, I have nothing to hide. Yes, I do. I have a lot of friends. I have cousins. I have my sister. I have aunts. Yes, we do. We text.
So if we're to take your story as the truth, following the wreck, you switched apps to this text message, and the last text you sent was a string of laughing emojis. Accurate?
Looking at that, yes. No, I did not text it. You said open it up. Was it there? Yes, it's there. It's on body cam. What I'm saying is, what was the last thing I was doing? I was on Zello. I was going to that call. It fell down. I picked it up. Now, once again, could have picked it up. With everything going on, I'm going left and right. Everybody's calling me. You know that when it's so sensitive, when you pick it up, when you touch that screen, it goes up, it changes either from left to right. Could have dropped it on my iMessages.
If we were to obtain your cell records, there's no chance that you're wrong about this.
Could have texted before, way before. But once again,
There's no chance that you texted after the wreck, before you left the scene.
after the wreck,
After the wreck and before you left the scene of the wreck.
I could have texted someone. Yes,
You could have
Like I
texted
said,
this person.
I don't remember that person. I have to see who it is. I can't even see the name. Those are text messages from 2023, July. I have no idea who that is. If I go back to that specific date, yes, I might be able to see who it is. I have no idea who it is.
But you'd be able to do that, right?
I would be able to do it, yes.
Okay. After this wreck happened, were you reprimanded by the city of Dallas?
Well, yes, I was. I was giving a, not only did they give me points, which is, I think that there's a point system. I don't think it's 3 or 4 points. You get into a non-driving status, but they also gave me, I think it's like a white copy where you basically, you did something wrong and you have to sign it, which I did.
Okay, so earlier when you said this is just kind of part of your job, what you were doing that night, city of Dallas they don't agree with you on that.
Once again, I'm not expecting, you're doing your job, you're doing a great job. And like I said, I take full responsibility